What's kind of the weirdest moment that you remember that's kind of stood out in the back of your mind that you've seen at a nightclub?
Ooh, what is it? Ooh, there's been a few, you know. Need to dig deep. I'd say the weirdest one. So it used to be at Proud Camden. It's now Fest Camden. Sorry, yeah. There was a fire dancer on stage. I was opening up for that fire dancer. After she finished, somebody in the crowd like ran up on stage and tried to start dancing with the fire, and then security tackled him on the stage and tried to get him off the stage, and then yeah, he was up there in the middle of the stage trying to dance with the fire, just all doing the maddest thing. Yeah.
Gosh,
It was funny. It's funny.
it just sounds like obviously sometimes the way that it's all structured. Obviously, you have your performers in front of the DJs. It can all be like a bit much sometimes, a bit crowded up there on the stage.
Sometimes, yeah. But it gives you more energy in a way, I guess. The atmosphere when people could be close together, I guess. But when the atmosphere of people on the stage just giving you the energy to just do your thing. Yeah.
Amazing. And obviously moving past the club nights, obviously you've had the pleasure to open up on big artists such as Tim Westwood, Wizkid and Scotty B, and just to name a few. How did that make you feel? Like, gosh, you know.
You try not to be starstruck. So the Scotty B one happened like the first year I was DJing, and then he's someone I've been watching before I even started to DJ. So that at that time I felt starstruck. I got to finish my set and I got to watch him, and how fast he moves is just, it blows your mind. And then people like Skepta I still listen to now, Wizkid, they're some of my favourite artists, so getting to open for them and play alongside them was just,
and
still blows me away now.
You actually got to play with Skepta, as I believe, yeah. That's massive. Literally, that's massive. But yeah, that's, how did you find that? Like, how was he?
He was really chill, like, as in, I got to play, and then when I finished my set, I got to meet his DJ and him. He was really chill. Like, certain people you might think they're really arrogant or big-headed, but he seemed really focused when I met him, so he was just in his zone, getting ready to perform.
Bit of a producer, isn't he? He's got that mindset to always be working on lyrics and productions.
Yeah, he was just in his element, getting ready to go before he performed, because then you almost say, like, everybody seems to know who he is, but you almost wouldn't know he was a performer from how he was, from his energy before his performance to on the stage. It was just night and day, literally.
Amazing. And obviously you've done big, I believe it, Parklife Festival and Notting Hill Carnival as well.
Yeah,
those are big events. And obviously, how did it feel to do those? Like, how did they compare to obviously a club night, let's say? Obviously, it's a much bigger scale and a lot more people involved.
It was more. Yeah, there's definitely a lot more people involved. There's the whole experience of it. So it was more of a day of it for both things. So I'll start with Carnival, I guess. It was more, when I was involved, we got there in the morning and we was warming up from the whole day. So from like 9 a.m. till 5 or 6 p.m. there was like 3 of us on the Carnival floor. We were just alternating all day. So that was more of an experience, but there was food, obviously dancers, music, crowds. Yeah, that was crazy. And in terms of Parklife, that was amazing as well, because being all the UK artists, even before the set, so you're just on your way to your set, and
backstage,
then you just
sort of,
and you see J1, or you see Dino, or you see Major Lazer, Migos, like Well, it was fun, man. Definitely fun.
That's amazing. And obviously, recently, as I believe you've actually featured on some radio stations here in London, Capital Extra, BBC One Extra, and Represent Radio. How did that come about? How did you transition from obviously streaming online, doing mashups, doing club nights, onto an actual radio station?
I think the main thing is you just have to believe in what you're doing and just go for it. So it transitioned through just making sure I'm consistent with my work, with the mashups, with anything I'm doing, just putting myself out there, so that when I did approach these stations, they would see what you're doing and then maybe sort of judge if you're good enough or if you're not good enough or anything like that.
Mm.
So that's what I was mainly doing. And then, yeah, so in some cases they reached out, and then in other cases I just reached out to them because I wanted to just see if I could push for the opportunity. Really.
Amazing. And if you had a favourite, no biases, I know.
On the spot.
On the spot. What radio have you kind of most enjoyed doing a set for? We promise we won't tell them.
Because it's been such a personal goal, I'd probably say BBC One Extra. So it was my second time doing it, which is crazy to me. But yeah, that was my favourite one, just because I got to go into the building and just see how things were set up and
kind of interact with the whole team.
Yeah, definitely.
And also
BBC.
to get different vibes sometimes. Like I know, I've heard that Represent Radio is a little bit more like laid back, sort of chilled out sort of sessions, whereas BBC obviously they've got all their production crews.
That's probably spot on. That's probably spot on of how it is. I think it's more. What is the word? I'm not going to say more organised because they're all more organised, but it's more.
It's a different vibe, isn't it? And yeah.
I don't want to say professional. I can't think of the word, but it's definitely a different vibe.
I think it's also because obviously they do the news, and so they're very much used to kind of having not more of a serious tone. Obviously they have a bit of jokes and fun, obviously, but
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Business tone, I'm gonna say here.
Yeah.
More of a business tone, and then Represent is like you said, more laid back.
Yeah.
And BBC were more.
It's more like a roots radio sort of thing. Yep.
Spot on.
I got that.
It's a spot on issue, yeah.
But yeah, so obviously you've worked with a lot of artists over the course of the radio, right? Who was sort of the best person that you've enjoyed the most up until now? And
on
do
radio.
you have on radio, yeah. And do you have any other future plans, if we're allowed to know, of any upcoming features?
My favourite artist to work with on radio. Let me see. I got to meet her and she was really cool, but I'd say either Tashan or Alaka Harley. So
and that was on Represent? Yeah.
I was featured alongside them, but I got to play some of their songs live on radio too, as like PA versions. But they were really cool. They were really a good vibe as well the whole time.
Yeah.
And then plans. For the whole year, I'm trying to. So I started my own platform called Shine Some Light UK, where that's going to be for upcoming DJs, upcoming artists, upcoming creatives.
Yeah.
The plan for this year is to just both build that, but build up the artists who may get involved in that.
Yeah.
So just to give artists another platform to just showcase what they can do.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a segment on radio to link it to radio as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the main plans for the whole year.
Amazing. We will touch on the Shine Some Light UK in a minute.
Yeah,
Let me just take a little break.
Pause.
No, that's fine. So yeah, you can just cut it on the edit, if that makes sense. Okay, so obviously we've talked about your mashups. Have you had any sort of plans to produce your tracks for yourself as well alongside that?
Yeah, 100%. That's been the next step, I guess, yeah. So I'd say initially I didn't really have almost confidence in myself to do it. But now as I've been doing the mashups and they've been getting a lot of love, now I think the next step is to start my own production and just see where I can take it, find my lane with it, and just push forward with it. That's literally my mindset to it.
Because obviously once you sort of produced your mashups, you kind of got in the hang of editing vocals, different music samples, and actually, working with different beats.
Structured it and everything, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So now you gained a little bit more confidence to produce your own tracks. Would you say that's about right?
Definitely, yeah. It's a personal goal. Probably, yeah, by the end of this year I want to have something else, whether it's a project, whether it's a single, whether it's an EP, anything, video. I want to have something that's made by me personally out there to just see what people think, I think.
Amazing. And so now coming back to what you're doing at the moment, Shine Some Light UK. Obviously we know that you're standing with artists, trying to bring them up, which obviously is amazing. We'll try to do that, a little bit of that over here on TuneSick too, so obviously we definitely agree with what you're doing. But yeah, would you like to tell the audience obviously what you're kind of doing with that and yeah, where they can find it?
Yeah, so on all platforms it's Shine So Black UK. We've only got a SoundCloud at the moment and an Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. But we're planning to be pushing a lot this year on YouTube with freestyles, podcasts, interviews, and then for DJs maybe guest mixes, routines, everything really, and then other creatives as well, so maybe dancers, fashion, poetry, just the range really, yeah. Just gonna push it this year. But yeah, it's just another platform for people to just do their thing and maybe not get overlooked. Hence the name Shine So Black, I guess, yeah. But yeah.
Amazing. And where would you say you see yourself in 5 years, let's say? Got to think optimistically here, obviously.
Yeah. This question's always tricky for me. 5 years, I see myself hopefully being still a DJ, obviously, and then a producer just doing their thing all over Europe or the world, I guess, yeah. But I know it's going to take time, obviously, maybe longer than 5 years. But I'd say being a DJ and producer everywhere. And if it's safe to, running events and running my own brand as well. Working with other brands, everything.
Amazing. And obviously for those viewers watching at home who may just be beginning their journey, what would you say to them to kind of motivate or encourage them on their path to becoming, let's say, either to whatever they're doing really, as a DJ or radio presenter?
Definitely network. So don't be afraid to network and meet other people and enjoy your journey along the way. There's another key one that I need to think of as well. I'd say try and be as original as you can, but obviously if you take inspiration from people, that's fine. Try and use it to build something of your own. Don't just flat out copy anybody like that. Try and be original, try and network, and just be yourself. Yeah, I'll say that probably. Yeah.
Perfect. And just to finish it all off, where can we find all your mixes, your radio work obviously that you've done, and yeah, where can we find out more about what you do?
So all my socials are DJ Denz UK, so my SoundCloud, my Mixcloud. If you search that on Instagram, Facebook, anything, you'll hopefully find it, hopefully.
And we'll put a link here somewhere on the screen.
Thank you. And then, but yeah, my socials are either DJ Denz UK or Denzel Sappho 1. You can find all types of mixes, all types of guest sets, mashups, and different content throughout the whole year coming soon.
Perfect. Well, thank you once again for coming down for the interview. It's been a pleasure interviewing you and having you on the show.
No, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, honestly, man. Yeah.
You're welcome. And for everyone watching at home, thank you for tuning in. Eris Herbert here, presenting on TuneSick Select. We'll be back with another episode. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe.